Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well. Today's video is going to be a story time about when I found out I was having twins. So backtracking a couple of weeks, I found out I was pregnant on Easter. I took a pregnancy test. I told my husband on the way home from church, I said, we should get a pregnancy test. I don't know why, I have a feeling that we should get a pregnancy test. And we had been trying for a while. I think about 10 months we've been trying. And I know that whole church service I was just praying. I was praying. So I was like, let's just get a pregnancy test. It's probably not going to be anything, but I feel like I need to take a pregnancy test. So we got home. I took the test. I didn't look at it yet. I went to go change because we were going to my grandma's later that day to have dinner. And he looked at it before I did, and I was pregnant. And I was like, what the heck? And I didn't really notice anything different about the test, but I wasn't that late, but the line was really dark. So I feel like looking back now, I probably should have known, but I never in my wildest dream imagined I would ever have twins, ever. It was never on my radar. I just didn't even think, I don't know, I never thought it was an option for me. I don't know why. My sister already knew, and then my best friend in my small group from church when I was in middle school already knew, because we had a girls' weekend a couple weeks before Mother's Day, and my best friend Haley tried. She was like, you need to try my kombucha, and I'm secretly Googling, can you have kombucha when you're pregnant? And it was all like, no, you can't. So Haley wanted to do a champagne toast, and she was like, Jenna, you have to, it's a girls' weekend, you have to do a champagne toast, it's just one drink, you'll be fine. I'm like, I can't have a champagne toast. And she was like, why not? And I was like, and then everybody was screaming, and she literally drops to the floor and does the ear piercing scream. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So they knew before my family. But so fast forward to Mother's Day. So we wanted to tell everybody on Mother's Day because my whole family was going to be together. We actually told my family 2 days before Mother's Day because we had a big celebration for my grandma and grandpa's 60th wedding anniversary. I guess it was their 60th. It was a wedding anniversary. My grandpa had passed away a year before, so we wanted to make it special for her. So we all surprised her by being at the celebration all together. And I told them I was pregnant, but they didn't know that part yet. So my dad met me and my husband at our house. We were gonna drive all the way across town together. So he met us at our house before, and I was like, hey, do you want to see what I got for Mother's Day? And backstory, my family all loves the movie Father of the Bride, and me and my dad danced to My Girl at my wedding, and it's just always been a really special movie to us. So the way I told my family was I gave them this movie. I actually kept it, but it says 8/7/16, that was my wedding day, and Father of the Bride. And then it says December 2019, and that's Father of the Bride Part 2, and there's the daughter and the baby kissing the dad. So I gave him this movie, and he's just looking at it, and what was weird about it was what I didn't know if he understood, because my sister was getting married in December, so I didn't want him to think December 2019 was my sister's wedding. I was like, do you get it? He was like, I think so. I was like, are you sure you get it? He's like, are you pregnant? I'm like, yep. And he starts crying, getting all emotional, and it was really sweet. I'm his firstborn daughter. I'm his firstborn. I'm the first child of them, so first grandchild for my mom and dad. So that was exciting. So he was so excited on the way there. He's like, Jenna, you have to give the present to her right when she comes in, because I cannot keep a straight face. I can't keep it in. I'm just gonna keep giggling and stuff. So you have to do it immediately when you get there. I was like, okay, okay, okay. So we get to my aunt's house, and my mom was taking a shower because I think she had just gotten home from work. And it was, she got down, my dad's like giggling and laughing and stuff, and I gave the present to my mom, and she opened it, and her and her sister, my aunt, were looking at it like, what, and they both started screaming, and they figured it out, and everybody was so happy. And then I had to tell everybody else who got there later. My grandma found out, and she was so excited. So it turned out my other cousin was pregnant too, and we were due 2 weeks apart. So we were both pregnant together, and it was so crazy, and it was so fun being pregnant with her. And she told me that day too. I couldn't tell anybody else about her because she wanted to tell her brother before she told everybody else. So I knew that she was pregnant, but nobody else did, and it was a mess, but it was a really fun mess. So when everybody knew at the party, but then they started grilling meat. And when I was pregnant, I could not stand the smell of grilled meat. So I threw up in my aunt's front yard, and it was a mess. I had to go home early, but everybody was so excited. They're like, oh, this is so good, the baby's healthy. And I'm like, everywhere. And I just wanted to go home. But it was fun, everybody knew, and that was exciting. I think a week or maybe 2 weeks later, I had my first ultrasound. I get there, I get in the stirrups, get everything all situated, and the technician was new. So she was kind of learning all the equipment and stuff, and she was practicing on me. I don't care, I'm a teacher, I understand the importance of practicing. And she said, nothing's wrong, I just need to make sure what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing. And I was like, okay. I didn't think anything of it. It didn't make me nervous. I felt everything was fine. But she did call the other technician in, and my husband got really nervous. He thought something was wrong with the baby. And so the other technician comes in, and she introduces herself, and she said, nothing's wrong, we're just checking out something. And they hadn't put it up on the TV yet, so it was kind of weird. But I didn't think anything was wrong. I don't know, I never got a bad feeling. So she was like, yep, what you're seeing is right, that is what it is. So they finally turn on the TV, and she goes, all right, here's your baby, here's this baby. And then she turns it over and she goes, okay, now here's baby number 2. And I was like, what? What'd you say? She goes, yep, you're having 2 babies. I said, what? Are you sure? And she's like, yep, you're having twins. And Sam and I were like, what? Sam died laughing. He was like, I knew it, I knew it. I was like, how'd you know it? This doesn't happen to me. And we were both just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, over and over again. So we had probably an extra long appointment, because we kind of had to go through everything. Everything that I had to do that was different than a singleton baby. I basically had twice as many appointments, and every single time except for one appointment I had an ultrasound, which was amazing because I got to see the girls every single time I went to the doctor, which was cool. But it was just a super long appointment. So I was getting texts from family and friends like, is everything okay? Like, it's been a while, is everything fine? And I was like, it's fine, I'll call you as soon as it's done. So when we get out of the appointment, Sam and I like finally took a breath. We're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, we'll be okay, just oh my gosh. So the first person we called was my mom. And she goes, oh my gosh, finally, how was the appointment? We're like, everything's good. She's like, how was the heartbeat? And we're like, they're both good. She's like, they're both good? She's like, you and the baby? I was like, no, they're both good. She's like, wah! I've never heard my mom make that noise before. She basically dropped to the, I don't know if she dropped to the ground because it was on the phone, but I've never heard her make that noise before. She screamed for a long time, probably about 5 minutes before we got all the words in. So we basically we told her all of these things, all the things that happened in the appointment, and she was very excited. So then we ended up, we called Sam's family and they were all surprised. I got to FaceTime my dad, and my dad, my poor dad, he's like, I can't really comprehend this now. He was very, he was like just shocked. He couldn't even say anything because he was so shocked. And we had dinner with, it was so funny, we had dinner with Sam's grandma and grandpa. We told them, his grandpa picked it up right away. He saw the 2 sacks on the, oh, I wonder where that is. He saw the 2 sacks on the ultrasound, and he was like, oh, twins. And we're like, whoa, you picked that up right away. That's pretty good. And then it turned out that Sam's aunt was getting her toes done across the street. She saw our cars at the restaurant, and she came in, so we got to tell her in person too, which was awesome. But I think, besides my mom's reaction, the second best reaction was when we told Sam's family friend, who's a really close neighbor, Trisha. She was driving her car with her husband apparently, and we told her that we were pregnant. She didn't know that we were pregnant yet, and then she screamed. She's like, why'd you tell me while I'm on the road? I'm gonna run off the road and get an accident. And then we're like, wait, it gets better. She goes, it's twins. And I haven't heard that sound out of a human being either. It was so amazing. I wish I actually filmed everybody's reactions, but I didn't have a camera at the time. I wasn't doing YouTube at the time, but it was so great. This was the ultrasound. There we go. This was the ultrasound from our first appointment. I cannot believe it was this long ago. Oh, so sweet. It was May 14th. But when I told my sister, I was on the phone with her on speaker, and her fiance was on the phone too. And I did the same thing that I did with my mom. She goes, how are the heartbeats? I was like, they're both good. She goes, oh, that's great. I was like, yep, they are both good. She goes, oh, okay, that's cool. She thought I was trying to be politically correct by not assigning a gender to the child. And I mean, I did that anyway, but she didn't understand that it was 2. And then when she finally figured out, she's like, what? But that was also really funny. Then I told my friends, Haley and Jordan, I ended up having to text them because they both couldn't get on the phone at the same time, and I wanted to tell them at the same time. And it was so fun telling everybody that it was twins. There were a lot of dirty words said, but it was just really funny. But like I said in the beginning, I never ever imagined in my life I would ever have twins, and I thought it was going to be overwhelming. It really took me a long time to be ready to have one baby, just mentally. I know that I have to take a lot of time for myself personally to be good, to be mentally good. So I was really nervous about having a baby, and then having 2 babies. It really put a test on me and my anxiety to see if I could get through it. And honestly, it is the best thing in the world. I would never ever change anything. I never imagined it for myself, but I'm so glad that I have twins. It is the best. It is the best, hardest thing in the world, but I wouldn't change a single thing about it. But that is how I found out I was having twins story, and how I told my family. If you have twins, let me know down below how you told your family and how you found out you were having twins. I love hearing these stories. They're my favorite stories. So let me know down below in the comments how you found out. Also, if you're new, please subscribe. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I really appreciate it. I share basically my daily life over on Instagram. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Twins, what the heck?